Okay, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I thought I'd just give a tour of the RV and any updates I've done on the property. So, all right. So, this is my current living situation. Um, it's not much, but I do have power, and even though it looks like I don't have like heat source, I like candles. I like the ambient heat during the day without using a bunch of propane. So it's 63 in here. I typically don't need it much warmer than that if it's just myself, but I don't want it to get too cold, so I run some candles. So I do that. My heat source, I do run on a Buddy, even though again we are hooked up. I could run the power, but for some reason I was using these before we even had power, and I'm just used to it. I like how it's quiet. I don't have to hear the RV battery or whatever it is going. So I typically still run those. There's a carbon monoxide detector on those, so it'll shut off if it's getting unsafe. Yeah, so this is my Wi-Fi. About $100 a month. It's portable. I can take it with me. It's pretty much good for everything, except for maybe doing Zoom calls, live streaming. It's okay. I usually just, if I have to live stream something, if I'm watching it on the internet, I will play it backwards like a couple minutes, so there's a delay, and then it'll play fully. So because I haven't wanted to deal with frozen pipes, I'm still using water in a big tank like this, just because it gets 0 degrees here, and the last thing I want to have to deal with is a busted pipe. It's not a big deal. I usually go into town every night for dinner with Amy, so that's when I shower and all that other stuff. But for doing dishes, that's good enough. This is my fridge. It's getting power. I have a few things in there. But that's really the main thing that I like going, just because when I have food, with me heating up the place, that needs to stay cold. Sometimes I just keep things out in the car overnight if it's just going to be short term. If I don't even want to run that, like I have some spaghetti in the car. I just left it there. Got down to 30 last night, so actually less than that, like 26. So it's fine. So yeah, my clothes, I keep them under there. My little internet cafe, my computer over there. I have tea in the morning. So I run this, and any little cooking I need to do. I put my dishes over there, my food stored up there. If I ever just want to run a light, I can run this. I don't always have full power. I can, but just I guess I'm so used to living like this that sometimes like I will just save the batteries on that on my main generator, which I'll show you in a second, and I use this Patriot Power, which can run me a light, charge my phone, charge the Wi-Fi, charge my computer. Okay, this is the bathroom. Nothing much. Again, I don't use the shower. I shower in Harrison. And this is my bed. It's super comfortable. I like it cold in here too, so I have just tons of blankets. I'll be honest with you. If this is my living situation at any point in my life, I would be content and happy. It's for me. It's simple. It's easy. It's easy to keep clean because it's small. It's comfortable, and yeah, it gives me internet. But really, it's about this is where the entertainment is outside. So I don't want my place to be just so comfortable where I'm just gonna be like sitting inside all day. I like to do stuff outside, so we'll go out here. Okay, so we got a little bit of snow last night. Nothing crazy. I could probably get doing some work here soon. I was gonna burn some trees, but it is a little bit of wet, so kind of getting started a little slow today. But where it's loosely framed in, you can kind of see like the metal there. It's about 1,000 square feet. Our goal is to have a basement. It's going to be an A-frame, a porch, a loft. If I clear out more of those trees, we'll have a nice view. So that's our dream right now. Now it's finally set in stone, like where we want it, what we're gonna do. I've taken out a few trees to make room for that. I probably do need to clear a few more next to it because I don't want them to grow too tall and have the root systems mess up our basement. But I'm always slow to clear trees. All right. So just show you something here. So technique I've been using to get rid of stumps. I used to have a huge stump over here. Cleared out a huge tree, and rather than buying a stump grinder, when I have my fires, I just burn it. Works out a lot better. So something for our house. I have a ton of cedar over there. Not a ton. Maybe, I wish I had more, but most of that's cedar. Some of that's cherry wood. Those ones are persimmon. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that. I have some pine, but I had to buy the cedar. Everything else is from my property. I'm going to use that for our house. It's called cordwood. There's a technique with that. So for the front and the back of the house, I'm going to use that for the house. I'm also contemplating using that for the garden. I was going to use the persimmon trees for that. So this is where the garden's going to be. Finally settled on that. That's my next project. I will get that going here really soon. I have the wood ordered. I'm going to make a bunch of raised beds right there. I'm going to fence it in with wood, like wood posts from the property or that cedar. I've been so slow getting that going because I have a hard time, I guess, coming up with the idea. When I have the idea, then things start moving. So in the meantime, most of my work I've been spending just clearing out the property, cleaning up the trees. So this is my little setup over there with solar, my solar panels, and that's what gives me power to the RV. Runs my well, so I have water. I do need to get up there and clean the rest of the panels off from snow, but so I do have water on demand, and it's not hooked up because I don't want to deal with the frozen pipe. I'll stop talking about that. So this is kind of my setup. Eventually I'm going to box this whole thing in, so this is not out in the elements. I mean, it is shielded with the rain, but my batteries are in here. It's pretty fully charged, but it's just enough to run my well, run my refrigerator. It gives me everything I need, so I'm good. My backup generators and my gas generators are in there. So yeah, so like I said, most of my time I've been spending clearing out the forest. This used to be super dense. Whenever you'd look at it, you couldn't see very far through it. And, you know, if I'm here all the time, I want it to be beautiful and to be nice. So I spend a lot of time just clearing that out. So you see that. Again, you couldn't see like more than like 10 feet through that because there's just tons of undergrowth. Kind of like what you see back there. It was all like that. And if you look at my previous videos, you would notice the difference maybe. But okay, so I'll just show you some updates I've done with the animals. I guess it's almost skewed. I spend more time doing projects with the animals just because, you know, I got to make sure they're comfortable. They provide us food. The goats help to clear the land, and I haven't milked them yet. I probably will in the spring. I've just been too busy doing other stuff, but I do want to start milking them because Nigerian dwarf milk, in my opinion, is the best. Okay, so this is the electric fence area for the goats. I haven't been letting them out here just because hasn't been getting a whole lot of sun back here. I do need to clear out more trees. And I don't like draining the battery all the time. So I've been letting them free range practically every day. So it's not a big deal to give them more area. That's really just more for when we're gone. So they can still access, you know, more acreage without us being here to let them out. So this is, again, their little goat pen. one of their feeders. I store their hay up there. I have a divider because there's pretty much a hierarchy between the goats, and one will pick on the other, so it's nice if they're separated. For a treat, I give them this about every 2 days. I've been trying to wean them off to like every 3 days so they're not as whiny whenever they see me back here. They're goat minerals, and if they ever have like some diarrhea, I'll give them, you can't even see the slippery minerals, slippery elm. They're goat minerals, so grain. So this is kind of where they're sleeping right now. They prefer to sleep out here rather than in there. Again, because they kind of, there's all this infighting, I like to give them many options so they don't have to be like right next to the other. Otherwise, sometimes they'll get kicked out and they'll have nowhere to sleep. So they have tons of options. Plus, I have 6 goats now. They're out free ranging. I don't even know where they're at, but they'll come back. I made this also because they like to be up higher. So it's wood. They like to hear their hooves on wood. So I give them a little bit of a platform to do that. Obviously, there's snow on it, so they haven't messed around with that. And when we go away, it's nice to give them more option for hay. We have a 3-day vacation here soon. So might have a neighbor. He's a farmer, gardener, and we kind of have an exchange where we'll water his garden in the summer, and if I need someone to come out here and give them hay, he'll do that. So it's nice, all my neighbors here are super nice, and we help each other out. So this is my chicken area. Done a little bit of updates up here, kind of just hanging out. This is my ratnator. I caught 3 in here the other day, but that was inside. I had some bait in there earlier, but I took it out because I didn't want it to get all wet, so I let the chickens eat it. But I could refill that up. Just trying to catch as many rats from the wild because they find their way in this coop, and then if they find their way in, then other animals can follow behind them, and some of them are predators, so you want. There's a number of reasons to keep rats out, but they're like my least favorite animal. These things have been icing over at night, our water. So Amy and we just ordered a water heater, which I'll hook up to another solar generator that we have. Bring some solar panels out here. And, start keeping those so that, they have fresh water. Chickens can tolerate down to like minus 20 degrees, but they need to have access to water. So this morning I actually came out and I just had some warm water and I poured it on it to loosen it up. But so what I've done in here, so many times I know there's rats. I didn't see one today, but you can tell there's remnants of one. They like the sunflower seeds. So I've caught a few under here. Sometimes they like hang out under here. And yeah, you can see more sunflower seeds. So I know for sure there's rats getting here. Obviously the door's open, so I don't know when they're doing it. I'm kind of worried they're hiding in my new roof, which I just put in here to like insulate it. This is all new. It used to not be here. Put some insulation in here. Help them in the winter. Stay a little bit warmer. We're not really getting any eggs, but those are the nesting boxes. They roost over here. And these help to make their yolks a little bit. These are marigolds, I think. They help to make their yolks a little bit more orange. I put a door on there. Chickens don't like wind blowing on them, so in the winter I have to make sure it stays warm enough. But in the summer I take that off just so it doesn't get too hot. Okay. Throw out some apples for them. Also throw out a kombucha SCOBY, but I don't see it. I'm pretty sure they ate that, which I wasn't sure if they would, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is my operation. Got 29 chickens, 6 goats, a lot of trees, a lot of work. So the next project will be making my garden, which I hope to get done in like a week or two. And then after that, we'll see. I might start, well, our future, once we get enough money, we're going to get our basement built. And then if the basement's built, then I feel confident with enough of skills I've acquired to start working on framing it in. We're gonna have an A-frame. That's one of the easier ones. It's not easy, but easier. Again, you have 3 walls, or it's a triangle, so you have a foundation and 2 walls, so for your roof. So it's not like a box. So a little bit easier, but we'll see. All right, that's it for now.